Well, hello! It's Dino Guy here, and I'm in front of like a painting of a T-Rex. Now, what we're currently doing is we're staying at a sort of dinosaur-themed hotel. I typically stay here when I'm doing dinosaur-related things in Denver or in Morrison, Colorado. This hotel is a Best Western, and again, it's like dinosaur-themed, which is really fun. And it's located in Lakewood, Colorado. Today, I'm going to show you all of the cool dinosaur things that you can see here. Starting with this. It's a T-Rex. It's a T-Rex with T-Rex stuff going on. So yeah, it's the T-Rex painting right here. Very cool design. I think you know, if you guys watch my shorts, you probably saw this in the background of my Primitive War 2 video. And yeah, like my wife mentioned, it actually does have small amounts of feathers on it, which is really cool. It's likely that if T-Rex had feathers, it would be like that, where it's like very small amounts of feathers. And it is actually pretty likely that T-Rex did have feathers. You can also see some little dinosaurs over there. There's what are likely Admonosaurs in the background, very skinny in the neck especially. And then over here, you got like a Triceratops with very cool patterns in its frill. I quite like the way that it looks, and an ornithomimid in the background. At first, I thought the ornithomimid was naked, but it actually does have feathers, which is accurate. You know, they were feathered dinosaurs. Oh, and a Quetzalcoatlus up there. The cool thing is that these are not the only like paintings on the side of the building. I'm gonna go to another place that has some paintings. And here it is. This is actually really cool because you got like a Columbian mammoth right there, which is a type of mammoth that has been found in Colorado. You got some ground sloths over there. They look very cool. I really like the one that's like laying on its mother's back there. And of course, saber-toothed cats, you know, Smilodon, with some mountains in the background. It looks really cool. And then you get like a little bit of a timeline over there of different animals. Starting all the way back at the Cambrian with Anomalocaris right there, just chilling, doing its best. Going into the Ordovician, the Silurian, the Devonian with Tiktaalik, go! Carboniferous, Permian with Diploculus, amazing animal. Triassic with Plateosaurus, Jurassic with Stegosaurus, Cretaceous with Parasaurolophus, and some type of pterosaur back there. The Paleogene with Uintatherium, and the Quaternary with a mammoth right there. Oh, and look, Terrorbird. Yeah. There's a Terrorbird there. There's a Paraceratherium up there. All kinds of stuff. Is that Hesperornis? That'd be cool. But yeah, just very cool art overall, and it's kind of got like a little bit of a vintage feel. I can't talk. It's got a little bit of a vintage feel to it, which I also think is really cool. But there are some other really cool things about this hotel that I'm about to show you in like 2 seconds. Look at that weather vane up there. Who needs a rooster when you have a pterosaur on top of it? Pteranodon sternbergi. That's very cool. And then right up here, this is probably the first thing that you see when you pull into the hotel. You get a little bit of a statue of a Stegosaurus. It's a decently outdated statue too, if you couldn't tell. Like, in the fact that it's like kind of drooping its tail a little bit more. That head certainly looks interesting, but it's got a nice beak going on. And also, I just think it's really interesting how those dorsal plates are just kind of like really droopy. He kind of looks a little bit sad, you know, because he's got like droopy plates going on. And sad days. Right next to that, there is a sandbox where you can obviously dig up some fossils. Judging by that head that I can only partially see, I assume it's like a Camarasaurus or something. Actually, let me go and find out. Yeah, it is definitely a Camarasaurus. You can see those huge, like, spoon-shaped teeth right here. There's that huge nasal opening right here. That's where the eye would be. It's pretty funky-looking skull. You gotta love Camarasaurus because of that. And I think it's probably like a full skeleton that kids can dig up, which is awesome. And then there's the Thagomizer, because why not show the Thagomizer? Additionally, the lobby has a lot of really cool fossil replicas and dinosaur-themed things as well. I'm doing a voiceover for this because there was hotel workers in the lobby, and I'm awkward. But as you can see, there's a lot of really cool replicas, like of a Camarasaurus skull right there, or a Stegosaurus osteoderm. Right here, you have an Allosaurus skull on the mantle, which looks really sick. Of course, some sauropod leg bones. Those are very much a necessity. You got like a Pachycephalosaurus skull in there, some fossil fish, I believe an Archaeopteryx down there, all kinds of just really cool stuff. Triceratops brow horns as well, which is always really cool, some ammonites. Just, you know, in a lot of ways, it feels like a little bit of a museum in here, which is something that I always really love to see, which is something that makes it a very cool hotel, in my opinion. Oh, right here is a Brachiosaurus leg bone, which is, you know, quite a large sauropod, so it had quite large legs. And a very cool replica of a Stegosaurus skeleton right behind the front desk, which I think is just very cool. But we also have a Acrocanthosaurus skull right here with a Uintatherium skull right underneath it. I love Uintatherium because just look how strange that skull is. How can you not love that? Here's Dino Guy for scale. I'm 6'2", by the way, if you want a comparison. Right here is a Ceratopsian skull, which was also pretty large and looks really cool too. I love the way that it looks. And an Edmontosaurus skull, which is just, I love Edmontosaurus. How can you not? There's a Tylosaurus on the roof. That's the head right there. And the rest of the body is inside the, like this is where you get breakfast. I don't know why the name is escaping me right now, but yeah, there's a bunch of dinosaur paintings in there. But yeah, there's just a lot of really cool things in this lobby. Like you can see a Eusmilus skull right there, mastodon tooth, some footprints right there, like little theropod footprints, and even an Australopithecus skull. Also, little fun fact, everybody. Did you know that there was once a point in time where some researchers believed that sauropods had a sprawled stance, kind of like dragging their bellies around? Well, you can actually see some of that art depicted here. There it is. Old lizard sauropod. That is a, I made a short about this fellow before. But yeah, it was certainly an interesting time. Oh, look, plesiosaurs. I didn't notice that before. How fun. Very fun. And even in like some of the stairwells, you can see some really cool art depicted like right over here. In here, you can see the piece known as Age of Mammals by Rudolf Zallinger, reprinted with permission from the Yale Peabody Museum of Natural History. And there it is. Like there's a bison right there, woolly mammoth up there. And those fellas back there, I actually don't know what they are, but it's probably very obvious, and I'm just spacing on it. This is the Age of Mammals one. Down the other end of the hotel, past this wall, is the Age of Reptiles, which I'm sure that many of you are familiar with. So let's go and see it. They're currently doing a lot of work on the hotel right now, but you can see it right there. The Age of Reptiles with the Ankylosaur and the very famous T-Rex right up there with its piercing red eye. Obviously also done by Rudolf Zallinger. It's very cool. It's very cool stuff. And then another really cool thing about this hotel is that your room has a lot of like dinosaur themed things in here, such as this painting right here. I believe this is a painting that depicts like an event from the Bone Wars. Obviously a lot of this happened around Morrison, Colorado. Same goes for this one. In fact, I think that back there would be Red Rocks, the amphitheater. So that was the dinosaur-themed hotel in Lakewood, Colorado. I'm recording this outro a few days in the future because the outro that I recorded at the hotel was not that good. Like the audio was kind of bad, so we're doing it here instead. But yeah, it's a fun hotel that I recommend you check out if you're ever in that general area. Dinosaur-themed things are always really cool. This hotel is also pretty close to like Dinosaur Ridge, and it's pretty close to the Morrison Natural History Museum, which are both really cool places that I highly recommend you check out if you love dinosaurs or just paleontology in general. But yeah, that was the hotel. I'll have the link to their website down in the description if you're interested. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have an awesome day.